Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is Erica Borelli. I'm the Client Relations Director here at Giant Partners.
And my name is Annika Lyle, and I am the head of social media content and branding here at Giant Partners. Welcome, welcome. We're so excited that you're here and joining us today. Woo! Happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day so far. So before we as we're waiting for more people to jump into the room, go ahead and drop in the chat. So if you can see, we have our computers in front of us here so we can chat with you guys live. But go ahead and open the chat bar. So there's a little arrow in the right-hand corner of your screen. Go ahead and click that little arrow and you can see the chat bar there. And so just go ahead and tell us who you are, where you're from, your field of expertise. We'd love to get to know who we're chatting with here today. So we're so excited. We're here in Thousand Oaks, California, and we're really excited. We're here in our content department, our content studio. Woohoo!
It's beautiful.
It is. And we're just really excited to be chatting with you here today and chatting about modern marketing secrets.
And we also, I just want to put a plug in that we do offer video content marketing here in the studio. So that is something if you're ever interested in, and we'll dive in deeper, but I do want to mention that now.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, we have a few people dropping in the chat. Hey, we have Adrian. Hey, Adrian. So happy that you're joining us here today. Dave Moore. Hey, y'all. Dave, a wedding photographer in South Florida. Oh, beautiful. Amazing. That sounds like a dream job. Hey, Steven, we're happy that you're here. We have some people. Wow, we have a lot of people joining in. We're so excited that you guys are here. James from Pack Spices and Labs, family-owned business looking to grow and launch our retail lines. So exciting. Wow, that is really cool. Joining from Reno, Nevada. Thanks, Mike, for joining in. We're super excited that you're here. Leon, live in Alabama, and you're starting an anime clothing business.
Oh, wow.
How cool.
Very cool.
That is super exciting. Yeah. Well, best wishes to you in that. We're really excited to share kind of our secrets to maybe help you get started with that. Awesome. Daniel works for a solar installation company in Missouri. Awesome. Great. Well, we're so excited. Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different industries you're representing. And so we're excited to dive in. Do you want to get started? Or
I think we get started. Well, you guys have told us a lot about you guys. We're so excited. We even have Nancy joining in here. Thank you guys for sharing so much. But we'll tell you a little bit about kind of who we are and what we believe here at Giant Partners. So you guys get to know us a little bit more too.
Yeah, absolutely. Giant Partners, we've been around for over 20 years. Yeah. We are the #1 data-driven marketing agency. And I can say that I've been here for just about 20 years. So I know that this company has our clients' interests at heart. We want to do a good job for you guys. And data has been our #1 secret sauce for 20 plus years. We know what we're doing in this realm, and we're going to talk more about that and share some of those secrets with you. So we can't wait to dive in.
Yeah.
And we do have an offer that we're going to tell you about at the end of this webinar. So please do stick around because it is a really good offer. It would be a shame for you to pass it up. So we'll just stick around and we'll tell you all about it.
Yeah. And the main reason why we're hosting this webinar, talking and sharing, the marketing secrets that we've learned about being in the business. We want to do this because we know it's been a crazy year and everything is just up and down all the time and there's not a lot of consistency. So finding marketing strategies in such a changing time is really difficult. And so that's why we have this offer here that we're going to actually offer at the end. So yes, you have to wait. I'm sorry, but we're really excited about it.
It'll be fun. You won't even, it'll breeze by and you'll be like, what? It's done?
There you go, right? You're like, I want more. So we will be sharing a lot of information in this webinar. So if you want to take notes, we can just kind of highlight some main keywords that we're going to be sharing. And so we're really excited to be chatting with you here today. So with that, I think we just get started.
Yeah, let's
right?
do it.
So we want to just flat out right from the beginning tell you our modern marketing secret. We want to share with you, we were talking about kind of that top secret tip that we use in all of our marketing campaigns. So we're a digital marketing agency. We sell, we help with data, and we also have digital marketing campaigns, and we use this secret tip in all of our marketing campaigns that we do for our clients. So we've seen the results like tangibly with numbers. And so our secret sauce is actually data in your marketing campaign. So when everything is literally going up and down and changing, you think that like, okay, there's new trends, so I got to hop on this trend, and then tomorrow it's already a different trend.
Ugh, that could be exhausting.
Yes, exactly. And as a business owner, as a marketer, it's hard to keep up with all of these things. But we've found that in our campaigns that data is the number one thing that can remain consistent with all of these changing trends. So we're going to kind of talk a little bit more about data, what it means and why it's important in our webinar here today.
Absolutely. And I'm sure some of you are really experienced in this realm and you already know a lot about data. You're familiar with who your customers are. But I mean, we're here to meet you wherever you're at in your marketing journey. So we always appreciate customers that know a lot about data. We're always open to learning more about what you do and how you're utilizing data to make your business better. But we're here to share what secrets we have. Like she said, we're transparent here. We want everything to work out for you. So we want to just introduce this first thing. It's called a buyer persona. So who are your buyers? You have customers, right? Or if you're a new business, you're compiling those customers as time goes by. So as far as, the best example, I have a couple examples. Like if you just think about, if you're going to go on a date or something like a blind date, or if you're doing like online dating, you don't just randomly, meet up with someone and not know anything about them, right? You have specific attributes that you're looking for. It's not just like, hey, just anybody, right? Come on. No. There's specifics. So the same is true for your customers and your prospects that you're going after. They should meet a certain type of criteria based on the product or service that you advertise. So just think of it as I love to use that car dealership example.
Oh, yeah, so this is a great one. Yeah.
Say you have a car dealership and you just got a new supply of minivans, the latest, greatest minivan, and then the latest, greatest sports car. They both came in at the same time. Are you going to market both of those vehicles to the same exact audience? You shouldn't.
No,
you shouldn't. Because you just think about it. I mean, it's logical. Picture in your mind, who drives a minivan? I mean, 9 times out of 10, there's a presence of children. There's at least a kid or two in the family. And that's why a minivan is, an attractive product for that family. And then as far as a sports car, who's going to buy a sports car? Is it going to be a family of 5? Or is it more likely to be someone maybe who's single, certain age range, certain income range, that type of thing. So you want to think about that when you're establishing who your buyer persona is so that you market your product or service to the right people. And you don't waste a bunch of marketing dollars just, hey, putting it all, you don't want to do a blanket marketing offer to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. No, that group of people, maybe you want to make sure that you're hitting the right customer with the right message at the right time, right? That's the trick of marketing, and data helps you to do that. So for example, I'm not going to respond to a retirement ad, and I don't want to see them, and you probably don't want to send them to me because that costs money, right? And so basically data helps you to kind of trim the fat and make sure that you're hitting the right person that's perfect for your product and your business. And so we kind of think about this kind of life cycle of data or this timeline of data when we're talking about marketing. And so we have a beginning, middle, and an end where we always use data. Because sometimes maybe people are like, okay, I know what a buyer persona is. I get it. Oh, I can start with the data. That makes sense. Got it. But if you don't think about using the data and understanding the data in the middle of the actual campaign, then that's kind of a loss too. So you have to think about always analyzing the data to use it to inform your decisions. So for example, you start with the data, then you start your campaign. So you have your buyer persona, you can start and use different channels that your buyer persona is most likely to use the most. And so then in the middle of the campaign, you can analyze the data from your ads, analyze kind of the numbers, the metrics, the insights, all of these things. And then you can actually understand maybe which channel is working best for your buyer persona, your audience. And And then that's where you want to make a pivot strategy. So you can actually kind of look at the ads, maybe the creatives that are performing the best, or maybe a specific audience that's performing the best. And then you can reallocate your budget midway through your campaign to redirect to certain channels that are working the best, or redirect for certain audience that are working the best. And so that's really important. So data is throughout. So then at the end of the campaign, we have data as well. So we can look at which campaigns performed the best overall, maybe which audience was just like amazing for your campaigns that you maybe weren't thinking about before. And then you can use that information to re-inform new ad campaigns as well. And so that's kind of where this data is literally throughout the entire process. It's so important, and it helps you make strategic, informed decisions based on numbers and insights, so that you're not just like, oh, well, I think this will work, and spending a lot of money on things that maybe we don't have the facts and data behind to actually see if it's going to work, right?
Absolutely.
And so, it's really, really important. And I know that I mentioned like a word, channels. I don't know if maybe some of you guys know what a channel is, but Erica, maybe for those that don't, would you be able to explain what a channel is and why they're important?
Yeah, absolutely. A channel is any avenue that you are using as a marketing avenue, like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, email marketing, telemarketing, direct mail. Those are all different marketing channels. So like she said, each marketing channel is unique, and how you utilize data in each channel. It's kind of an intricate process, but not to be intimidated by it. Don't be intimidated by that. We can help you with all that. But yeah, it's basically just, which channel are you going to use based on the product or service that you offer. There are some channels that work better for other, for certain offers. Like there's a certain type of audience on Facebook versus Instagram. So we know all of like the facts behind every channel and who's more receptive to certain types of offers. So we know when to push data more towards the Facebook channel, or more towards, let's say you have a business to business offer. Maybe LinkedIn is a better channel for you. So yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I see it. We have like a question here in the chat. It says, which is the best marketing channel? And that's true. It does depend. It depends on your audience. I wish we could say like this is ultimately the best channel, but unfortunately it always depends on your business and your goals, what you're trying to achieve. And something that we're really excited is that what we're going to do is at the end, we're going to have time for a few questions. So if you have more questions, we're going to have time to kind of dive into those at the end. And we're going to take about like maybe 10 minutes to answer your specific questions. So we're really excited for that too. But thank you so much for that question. That's a really great question, Adrian. So as we kind of continue on, we talked about buyer personas already. That's a buzzword. We talked about channels and why they're important and the different ones that you can use. And now we're going to talk about something called appending. So this is another really fancy word. Has anybody heard of appending before? It's a data term that we use here in our office. So we'll kind of paint a picture to set up this example. So for example, maybe you're a more established company. Maybe you have kind of a data list of people that you've already sold to. So you have data points for these people that are interested in your product or service. So for example, say you're a company that sells pet products and you have a list of 5,000 people that have already purchased from you. And you said, well, I already have the data. I already have this information. And so I'm just sending them emails constantly. And that's kind of how I use my data list. But if you wanted to create, and here's some fancy words, an omni-channel branded and syndicated approach.
Ooh,
I know.
Fancy.
Fancy. You can write that down and drop that whenever you want to sound fancy. Omni-channel syndicated branded approach. So what you want to do is you want to take your brand, that basically we'll break this down. You take your branded message, so that could be an offer, that could be something you're trying to communicate about your brand's value to your consumer. And what you want to do is syndicate that. So send it to different channels, and that's what we call omni-channel. So it's that syndicated omni-channel approach. So for example, say you want to take your list, your email list that you've got, and then you want to target them on Facebook, and you want to target them also on Instagram as well. Obviously, you can do that as well, but you also want to target them on LinkedIn. And so you can actually use a data list to do that. And that's how you have that omni-channel. So all these different channels at one time, sending them the same message at the same time so that you can really access that consumer. And so that's what you need appending for. Erica, would you be able to explain what appending is and why it's important and kind of how it works?
Yeah, appending is super important. Appending allows you to get more information about your current customer or prospect list. Yes. So let's say you do have a list, but it just contains the name and the email address of your customers. You're missing some information there. You know, you might be, doing well, hitting up your customers via email and that's it. But there's a whole direct mail aspect that's still a really powerful form of marketing. And, you might want to append addresses, mailing addresses. We can also append other information like, if you're thinking, who are my customers? I want to know more about them. Mm-hmm. So certain data points, income, gender, marital status, the list goes on. We have hundreds of different demographics to choose from. So anything that will strengthen your database.
Yes.
I mean, basically, we're going to take your database, bump it up against ours. And by the way, our data is super, super fresh, super updated. So you're getting, if you wanted to get the most updated address and email address information, we're going to be providing that to you in addition to any other fields info you want.
Yes.
So, and that kind of gets us into something called lookalike audiences.
Yes.
So lookalike audience, do you want to kind of dive deeper into that?
Oh, yeah. No, this is really another great thing that we like to kind of offer to different people here at our company. And so basically, you say you have your omni-channel syndicated approach, and Justin, type that in the chat so you guys can copy and paste. Thank you, Justin, for doing that. So if you want to use that later, or if you want to kind of like dive more into that, that's what that is. But so say you have this omni-channel syndicated approach and you need your append to upload a data list to Facebook, right? So then say you've done that and you're like, okay, well, I did that and it worked really, really well. But now for some reason, maybe I think my audience is getting ad fatigue, maybe they're tired, or maybe they're, if you're sending emails, maybe they're unsubscribing because you've been, messaging them or sending them ads a lot over the past, 5-10 years if you've been super established. So that's where lookalike audience comes into play. It's really important. So say kind of you need to refresh your list. That's where we use lookalike audiences. So you may have heard about this term before, but here, and as we talk about it in terms of actual data points, what we like to do is we like to take your current data list of your customers, and you can find actually certain data points that are similar, or you can kind of pick out the pieces. And this is where data scientists come in, because it's actually like a science to be able to do this. It's very specific, it's methodical. And so they can go in and find, for example, maybe 3 different attributes, 4 or 5 interests, or things that maybe you're not even thinking about that your audience has in common. And then they can actually go ahead and create a new list of people that have those same commonalities. And so that's where creating a lookalike audience with data is so powerful. Erica, is there anything I left out in terms of lookalike audiences that you maybe want to add in?
Yeah, it's just finding a common denominator between your customer base. So looking at your list, seeing what type of data points stand out as a common trait. Like maybe every single, customer of yours has a swimming pool, or maybe they all have a dog, or maybe they all own their own business. There is something that's common. There's at least one trait that we'll be able to identify and then show you, hey, 75% of your customers have this in common. Maybe we should be looking at that, for your future campaigns, building a prospect list based on those data points so that, you're getting ahead of the game. You're not going to be marketing to just random people based on your best guess of who your customers are. And it's, not everybody knows who their customers are. You have customers, that's good. You want to keep them coming to your business to buy more products. And if that's happening, that's great. But for you to get to the next level, you want to think about, who should I be marketing to that hasn't heard about me yet? And how am I going to get my message to them and get them to respond in a way that is, you're going to get sales, and you're going to get repeat clients, and you're going to get referrals and all that. So this all ties into that. Data all ties into this.
Yes, exactly. And that's what's really powerful about data. And so that's kind of like the main thing we want to share. And we just want to further affirm that one thing here that we do know is that data doesn't lie. Because
data doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of refreshing.
I know.
Something that doesn't lie.
I know. because they're numbers, they're facts, and you can use these facts to inform your marketing campaigns. Because I know sometimes when you're trying to start marketing, it feels like you're just throwing money into an empty pit. So when you have the data and the numbers and the insights behind it, you can feel, more comfortable, more at ease with understanding your marketing budget, understanding, where your money is going and the return that you're getting. And so that's just kind of helps provide some peace and some ease as well in terms of just kind of what you're trying to accomplish for your business. And so with that, we want to let you guys in.
Are we already there?
I think we already are there.
What?
Yeah.
That went so fast.
I know.
Are you sure?
I am.
Okay.
I'm positive. So we have an offer that we'd like to share with you guys today because we understand that because of everything that's happened in our world in the past year, so a little over a year now.
I know. It's crazy.
We wanted to offer you guys something because we understand it's really difficult as a business owner, as a marketing professional, to kind of go through these changes. So Erica?
Yeah, to echo what Annika said, it's been a crazy past year, and we want to make everything easy on you right now. Yeah. So without further delay,
yes,
we're going to offer you $500 toward any product or service that we offer, whether that's a database, a lookalike audience, our digital marketing package. You can get $500 off your first monthly payment. Anything that we offer. We have a lot of products and services here, so I'm probably not doing this justice, but what other products or services might be interesting to these folks?
Let me tell you. I mean, we do so much here at Giant Partners, and we just talked about the data today. We didn't even talk about even half the things that we do here.
Yeah.
We obviously are a digital marketing agency, so we take on digital marketing clients. So we create campaigns. We have a content studio. So if you ever wanted to record a podcast, you can have $500 off that package. I mean, we have our mics, our amazing lighting. We have a videographer. So we have different products and services. If you wanted to do a social media campaign with us, we have that too. There's different services, or email. We didn't even talk about.
Oh yeah, email.
That's one of our main things that our customers come to us for is for email, because it's difficult to actually inbox in this day and age.
That's a thing.
Yeah. So we've got to have the science behind that as well. So if you wanted to send to cold email, anything like that, we can help you as well. So there's going to be a number down at the screen. It should be like 800-547-8080, or you can contact us directly at our emails. So it's just going to be Annika at giantpartners.com and Erica at giantpartners.com. So we have that as well. But now we'd like to open up for just a few questions if you have them.
I see a couple. James has a couple questions here. Ryan too.
All right.
Just a second here.
Let me see here. Oh, this is a good one, James. We actually have one from Ryan. This had upvotes, so some people shared this. So Ryan, how do you provide surveys for your customers to collect data? So is this specifically? We kind of have maybe like a follow-up question for this. So provide surveys for your customers to collect data. Are you saying with your specific, like for example, creating your own campaign to like maybe get more information,
like an email survey or social media survey, that type of thing?
Yeah, Ryan, go ahead and drop in the chat. I see you're typing there. Because these kinds of things is that sometimes it's better to understand your certain circumstance so that we can provide the best information and recommendation on our end. But yeah, so it really depends. If you wanted to be getting more information, you could do that through, Facebook. You could do Facebook surveys and stuff like that. You can use ManyChat, which is like a messenger tool, and do different polls or quizzes or things like that, make it fun. And so there's different methods to actually kind of grab more information from your list that you've already used. Let's see. Yes, essentially like an email or social media survey and such. Let me see. Trying to market a supplement product. Awesome. No, that's a really great idea. Yeah, I would recommend maybe even an email survey. That's a great way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think
surveys are awesome for, I mean, you get quite a nice response rate, especially for obviously existing clients, but that's a good way to get more information. From your
Exactly.
clients,
Yeah. And if you wanted to do, for example, one thing that we know that is helpful as well is maybe like birthday discounts or something like that. So maybe you can work in something to that extent for your survey where you could, inquire about their birthday so that you can send them birthday coupons in the future.
I see a question here from Dave Moore. Are your services affordable for smaller scale businesses or directed more for larger companies? That's a great question.
Great question.
And we are all about serving you right where you're at. So if you're a smaller company, you're just getting started, we will help you. If you're a bigger company, we will help you. We have we do not discriminate based on company size. So I think our minimum order is like 1,000 records if you're doing like a database marketing campaign. But you can call anytime right now. If you want to call in, please do. We have reps that are, really knowledgeable and can help answer any questions you have. If you're a startup company, if you've been around for a while, but you have a limited audience, we can help you. So that's a great question.
No, that's a really great question. And we have a ton of questions, but I think we have time for about one more. We want to be mindful of your time. We want to say thank you so much for joining us here today and sharing this space with us. But we have a really good question from James. It says, do you have information or data regarding which channels work best for industry types? For example, ingredient suppliers or B2B to suppliers. And that looks like a follow-up question about, dry grocery segment tends to be difficult. So we have some information about retail chains and create brand awareness to facilitate launches of new retail lines. So this is very specific to your niche. Which is a really great question. So do we have information or data regarding which channels work best for industry types? So yes, all of this information and which channels you choose are absolutely 100% based on your buyer persona. So for example, if you're a B2B supplier, you're going to have to create a list. We're going to have to find a list for you that's specific to your niche. Maybe the B2Bs or suppliers that would be interested in your product would be able to actually purchase your product.
We would build a TAM, a total addressable market for that. So that you could get you'd be able to get a look and we basically build a count. We call it a count. Run a count based on certain attributes that you're looking for, and then be able to show you there's this many companies within these industries, within this employee size, this annual sales revenue, these key executive titles. Boom, we can show you the whole breakdown, and you get to see who's out there that matches. We can definitely help with this. This might be more of a deeper dive into a conversation with one of our digital accounting specialists.
Exactly. No, exactly. And since this is a very specific question, we can we can follow up with email and specifically cater to your niche requests, which is obviously super important. So we'd be happy to continue this conversation in further detail later as well. But I think, Erica, you did mention something called a total addressable market that I wanted to kind of see if you can explain a little bit more of kind of what that is and literally what it looks like, maybe, so that people know.
It kind of ties everything in together as far as the buyer persona and all that, as far as getting to know who your target audience is. So like anytime we're going to do a call with one of our new clients and get to know who their audience is, we have to build this. We call it a TAM, but it's total addressable market. We're going to build a count based on the geography that you target. If you're a B2B company, then we're going to look in our business database and tell you how many records match based on the industries that are going to respond to your offer. Like I said earlier, the key contacts, if there's certain, demographics like annual sales, how long a business has been around, that type of thing. We're going to put all of that, combine all that, and then give you a look at who your total addressable market is. And the same holds true with B2C. We're going to dive into our consumer database. If you're a retail client or you're service-based and you cater to consumers, we're going to go into our consumer database and build one of those for you so you can get a look and see who we're going to go after. And like Annika said earlier, anytime during a campaign, if you're going to do like digital marketing with us and we need to pivot and we need to change who that total addressable market is, we will do that, and we can do that like that. And then, we're keeping an eye on all of the data throughout your campaign to make those adjustments as needed.
That's right. Yeah. Awesome. Well, with that, we want to say thank you so much. We want to be mindful of your time and say thank you for joining us here today. If you had any other questions, I know there are a few questions we didn't have time to get to today, and I'm really sorry, but if you follow up with us in an email, we can be able to chat with you directly. And if there's anything specific that we need to kind of communicate, we can even get you in contact with one of our data scientists. So our email is, it's our first names at giantpartners.com. So that's Erica, and it should be down at the bottom of the screen as well. And then Annika, myself. And then also, if you ever have any questions or you'd like to speak to somebody real time on the phone, you can call in at 800-547-8080, and we can put that down on the screen as well. But thank you so much for your time. We really hope that this was helpful and this kind of like gets the ball rolling for maybe like a new idea for your marketing campaign to really just get it kick-started. Just this season for you. So thank you so much for your time, and we really look forward to hearing from you soon. Also, if you wanted to stay in contact with us, go ahead and connect with us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and send us a DM, even if that's maybe something you're more comfortable with, rather than an email, whatever you prefer. We'd love to hear from you and connect with you. So we're at Giant Partners on pretty much every social media platform.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
LinkedIn, YouTube.
The whole 9 yards.
The whole 9 yards. So yeah, go ahead and connect with us. We'd love to kind of just chat with you and hear more about what you're doing for your business. But with that, we'd like to say thank you so much for your time, and we'll chat soon.
Thanks, guys.